Hi guys, welcome to Karthik Tadai. There has been lot of debates that are going on in social media comparing the great Sachin Tendulkar and the wall Rahul Dravid. The debate is about who is the greatest test batsman ever. I have been collecting some data regarding that, but it would take some time to put up a video regarding who is the greatest test batsman ever. So at present, I like to talk on different topics with the comparisons. Like few people are saying that when the Rahul Dravid deserved a proper farewell, he should have retired after Sachin Tendulkar, and about his mentorship, coaching, gentlemanship, and the nepotism, that is like Sachin is encouraging his son to play cricket like that, but they are unaware that Rahul Dravid's son is also playing in club level. So I don't know why they are targeting Sachin alone. So I have to take a fair point in this discussion, and I have to point out certain things which is going on my mind. So the first topic that I would like to share my thoughts on is why Sachin Tendulkar has retired after Rahul Dravid. So let me share my thoughts about this in this video. Before starting, I like to share certain things that I may not be fluent in English as many YouTubers. So if there is a mistake or grammatical error, or is there any error in fluency, please bear with that. Also the video may be little longer, so please be patient and watch the full video and take a fair point. You may agree or disagree with the facts I am talking about, but certainly watch the full video and then come to a conclusion. Thank you. Coming to the topic, yes, Rahul Dravid deserved a much better farewell series, and he should have played a farewell series, and BCCI should have conducted that. There is no denial point on this, but just because he didn't got a farewell series, it doesn't mean Sachin Tendulkar has to be blamed. He was not a captain during that period, he was not a selector, he was not a BCCI president either, and he didn't ask Rahul Dravid to retire from cricket at that point of time. So the entire point of blaming Sachin Tendulkar become very childish actually. Yes, Sachin has played a farewell series, but that has much to do with his popularity also among the fans. He's been the most loved cricketer ever to have played cricket. So those factors has been one of the reasons why BCCI conducted a great farewell series to him comparing the rest of the players. Also, many are not aware that Rahul Dravid has played a T20 and ODI farewell series in 2011 in England. Actually, he was not a regular member of a T20 Indian squad, also the ODI Indian squad. After 2006, he wasn't playing any T20 cricket at international level, but still he got a farewell game in 2011 in England. Same way, he was not a regular member of Indian ODI squad, and he was even dropped for the 2011 World Cup squad. But still, he played a farewell series in 2011, saying that this could be his last ODI series. So he got a farewell series in T20 and ODIs, but it is the celebration wise, it is not greater as Sachin's test farewell series. But that is not the mistake of Sachin Tendulkar. Ultimately, Rahul Dravid is not very popular or the most loved cricketer like Sachin Tendulkar. So that's why the celebration could have been less. But unlike Sachin Tendulkar, who didn't got a T20 and ODI farewell series, Rahul Dravid has got. The only reason Rahul Dravid didn't got a farewell test series is because he himself voluntarily retired. So just because Sachin Tendulkar has got a test farewell series, it is ridiculous and it is very childish to blame him that he is the reason for Rahul Dravid not getting a farewell series. So if you are seeing these facts, Sachin has not played a farewell one day and T20 series, while Rahul Dravid has got a farewell T20 and ODI series. So somehow both of them has got a farewell series. The celebration 11 alone is not equivalent like the Sachin's farewell test series. But again, if someone has to be blamed for that, it has to be the BCCI or the organization. Now coming to the most important topic, the retirement. Why Dravid has retired earlier than Sachin Tendulkar? There has been lot of talks right from Dravid's retirement time that he is a team player, he is a gentleman, he doesn't play for records. He has retired in test cricket earlier only to give opportunities for youngsters, but otherwise he has been in great form. But the reality is not like that. In fact, the fact is he is not in great form from 2007 to 2011 except the last 2 to 3 series he played. But there is also criticism that Sachin prolonged his test career and he played for his own records, which is also not true, because Sachin has already achieved everything in test cricket except the 200th test he played. There has been no records otherwise for him from 2011 to 2013. The only reason why Sachin prolonged his test career because he was in great form from 2007 to 2011, unlike Rahul Dravid, who doesn't had a great record during that period of time. This is the only reason why Dravid has retired earlier than from Sachin Tendulkar, and I can even prove that through the statistic data I have got from 2007 to 2011. I am providing it here, and just go through all that and come to a conclusion on your own. Okay, now this is the data between 2007 to 2011. If you see, Sachin has played 51 test matches during that period of time, while Dravid has played 58 test matches during that period of time. But if you see that even though Sachin has played less number of matches during that time, he has scored more number of runs than Rahul Dravid during that period. Also, even in century column and 50th column, Sachin has scored more number of centuries and 50s than Rahul Dravid during that particular period of time. Also, the most important factor we have to see in this data is the average between the two. From 2007 to 2011, Sachin has averaged 58.72, which is higher than his overall career average, while Rahul Dravid's average has dropped to 45.26, which is below than his overall test average. So this is the main factor one should see. Instead of seeing all these data, they are commenting that Sachin has prolonged his career while Dravid has retired earlier. But if you see this data very much, this is an unbiased data, and you can also verify the same in Cricinfo or many cricket sites which is on internet. So you can verify if I am right or wrong, and then you can proceed on with your opinions. So if you see this data, certainly Sachin has fared well during this period of time than Dravid. So that's one of the reasons why Sachin has prolonged his career and Dravid hasn't. Also, now apart from this, in the particular period of time, I'm going to show the data of all the away series that's been played from 2007 to 2011 and how Sachin has fared in those series and how Dravid fared in those series. So let's see the data of all the available series, all the away series from 2007 to 2011. Okay, coming to the away tours from 2007 to 2011, this is only for the test matches because Dravid hasn't played much one days between 2007 to 2011. Also, I am avoiding India's tour to Bangladesh because Bangladesh tours has not been seen as importance as other away tours. Also, if you see the data, also Sachin has certainly scored more number of runs than Rahul Dravid in the two tours India traveled to Bangladesh. So certainly I have avoided the data. So let me start with the England series that happened on 2007. India has played 3 test matches in that series. And if you see the data, Sachin has scored more number of runs than Rahul Dravid. Both the players hasn't scored 100 in that series, while Sachin scored 250s, Dravid scored just 150. Also, the average, Sachin has averaged 38 in that series, while Dravid has averaged just 25.20 in that series. So certainly in the first away tour after the 2007 World Cup, Sachin has fared better than Rahul Dravid. Coming to next away tour to India, it is India's tour to Australia. This series could be remembered by Indian cricket fans for many reasons. One is because of the controversies, the Monkey Gate controversy and the umpiring decision which came under big scandal during that time. Okay, now let's see how both Sachin and Dravid fared in that series. If you see the data, India played 4 test matches in that series, while Sachin scored 493 runs, Dravid has scored just 237 runs. Sachin has scored 200s in that series, while Dravid hasn't scored any 100. Sachin also scored 250s in that series. Dravid also has scored 250s in that series. But coming to the averages, if you see Sachin's average, it is 70.43, which is always some record, which is much higher than his career average. But if you see Rahul Dravid's average, it is below half of Sachin's average in that series, which is just 33.86. So Sachin has clearly outscored Dravid in that particular series, and if you see the data, you can very well remember that Sachin has performed better than Dravid in the whole series. But India has won just one test matches in that one test match in that series, that is a Perth test. Many would say that when the Dravid has scored 90 plus in that particular test matches, but many are not remembering that Sachin has also scored 70 plus in that particular test match. So coming to the point, certainly Sachin has fared very much higher than Dravid in that particular Australian series. And the next away tour is India's tour to Sri Lanka in 2008. If you see the data, India has played 3 test matches in that series. Sachin has scored just 95 runs in that series, while Dravid has scored 148 runs. Both hasn't scored 100 in that series, while Sachin hasn't scored any 50 as well, while Dravid scored just 150 in that series. Sachin's average is very poor in that particular series, which is just 15.83, while Dravid's average is 24.67, which is also not great. Though both the batsmen hasn't performed very well in that series, certainly Dravid has fared little better than Sachin in the particular series alone. So India has lost badly in that series, while the performance of both has not been any great, but still Dravid has performed little better than Sachin in that particular Sri Lankan tour. Okay, India's next away tour is India's tour to New Zealand in 2009. If you see the data, that India have played 3 matches in that particular series. Sachin has played 5 innings, while Dravid has played 1 innings more, that is 6. But still Sachin has scored more number of runs than Rahul Dravid in that particular series. Also Sachin has scored 100 in that series, while Dravid hasn't scored any. Dravid scored 4 50s in that series, while Sachin scored 2 50s. But if you see the average, certainly Sachin has had a slightly higher average than Dravid in that particular series. That is, Sachin is averaging 68.60, while Dravid is averaging 62.80. Both the average is very much higher, and both have been performed very well in the particular series. But Sachin has played 1 innings lesser, so if he had played that 6th innings, maybe his runs and average could have been even more higher. But apart from runs and averages, the most important factor is India has won this particular series in New Zealand, and that's the only time that India have won a test series in New Zealand. It's the first test match of this series that India have won, and in that match Sachin has scored 100, and also he was the man of the match in that match. So the match winning contribution of Sachin hasn't been taken much higher than the Dravid's overseas contribution. So if you see that even though averages doesn't been much higher, Sachin has certainly fared better than Rahul Dravid in that series. Okay, the next away tour is India's tour to Sri Lanka in 2010. If you see the data, that India have played 3 test matches in that series. Both the Dravid and Sachin has played 5 innings each. While Sachin has scored 390 runs in that series, Dravid has scored just 95 runs in that series. Sachin also has scored 100 and 250s in that series, while Dravid hasn't scored any 100 or any 50 in that particular series. Sachin has averaged 78 in that series, while Dravid average is just 19 in that series. Sachin has also scored a double 100 in that series, and it was a series that India draw with Sri Lanka, and that was the last test series of the great Muttaya Muralidharan. If you see the data, Sachin has clearly outscored Dravid in that particular tour, and he has fared lot better than him in that particular series. Okay, the next important away tour is India's tour to South Africa in 2010 to 2011. Actually, this series has had lot of expectation during that particular period of time, because it was a clash between the number 1 test team and the number 2 test team. Also, the South African bowlers were in peak form during that particular period of time. Also, the Indian batters also were in peak form during that particular period of time. So it was a clash between the best, and let's see how both Sachin and Dravid fared in that particular series. If you see that India has played 3 test matches in that series, both Sachin and Dravid has played 6 innings each. While Sachin has scored 326 runs, Dravid has scored just 120 runs. Sachin has also scored 200s in that series, while Dravid hasn't scored any 100 or any 50 in that particular series. Sachin's average during that series is 81.50, while Dravid's average is 20. But apart from averages and runs, the most important factor we have to see in the particular series is this is the only time India hasn't lost a test series in South Africa. Yes, previously India stood to South Africa and lost all the test series, and even after this series India stood South Africa twice and lost both the test series. So this is the only time India is able to draw a test series in South Africa, and Sachin's contribution in that particular series is very immense, and it is very valuable. If not for his performance, India could not able to draw that particular test series alone. Even Dale Steyn has talked a lot higher about Sachin performance in that particular series. Even that interviews you can see in various platforms in the internet which is available. So if you see the data, that clearly Sachin has clearly outscored Dravid in that particular South African series. Okay, the next important away tour is India's tour to England in 2011. This is India's first away tour after the 2011 World Cup, which India won after 28 years. So there has been lot of expectation during this particular tour, and we all remember the result that India has been clearly whitewashed by England in that particular series. But let's see how Dravid and Sachin fared in that series. In fact, India played 4 test matches in that series. Both Sachin and Dravid has played 8 innings each. Sachin has scored just 273 runs, while Dravid has scored 461 runs. Sachin hasn't scored any 100, while Dravid has scored 300s in that particular series. Sachin has scored 250s, while Dravid hasn't scored any 50. If you see the average, Sachin has averaged just 34.13, while Dravid has averaged 76.83. Certainly in this particular series, Dravid has outperformed Sachin by a long way, and certainly has fared better. But this is the only series why these people thinks that during that particular time the Dravid has been in great form and Sachin has not been in great form, and they feel that Dravid should have continued longer while Sachin should not have. But this is the only series, if you take for a longer period of time, that Sachin hasn't fared better than Rahul Dravid. Otherwise, in most of the series, in fact almost every series, Sachin has performed better than Rahul Dravid. But this particular series, Dravid has played very well, and full credits to him. There is no denial that he's been a great batsman, and in this particular series he has been a lone warrior for India. But one particular series alone, we cannot come to a conclusion that who is in better form and who is in poor form. So most of the Indian fans should also see all the data I have provided till now and then come to a conclusion. But in this series, certainly Dravid has outscored Sachin. Okay, next on list is India's tour to Australia in 2012. This is the last time that we have seen Dravid played in test match cricket. Let's see how both Sachin and Dravid played in that particular series. If you see the data, that India played 4 test matches in that series, both Sachin and Dravid played 8 innings each. Sachin has scored 287 runs in that series, while Dravid has scored 194 runs. Both Sachin and Dravid hasn't scored on 100 in that series, while Dravid has scored 150, Sachin has scored 250 in that series. India has been whitewashed in that series. If you see that average, Sachin has averaged 35.88, while Dravid has averaged 24.25. If you consider for their standard, both of them has failed in that particular series. But Sachin has certainly fared better than Dravid in that particular series. Okay, now you would have seen all the away series data from 2007 to 2011, and if you see those data, certainly Sachin has fared a lot better than Dravid in that particular period of time. Also, if you see the averages, Sachin has averaged below 30 in just one away tour during that particular period of time, that is one Sri Lankan tour in 2008, while Dravid has averaged 35 plus just in 2 test series during that particular period of time. Even though he's had an exceptional England series in 2011, unlike Sachin Tendulkar, he hasn't played his best during that particular period of time in away tours. Also, you may say that I am hiding the facts that Dravid could have performed better in home conditions. So that's why I am not talking about home conditions during the particular period of time. No, certainly not like that. Actually, I felt that away tours are more important than home test series. But even if you see the data of home series between 2007 to 2011, Sachin has certainly fared better than Rahul Dravid, except 1 or 2 series. Even though I am not going to give detailed data like the away tours, I would like to share certain things about the home series that been played on 2007 to 2011. Okay, now coming to home series, the first home series after the 2007 World Cup is India versus Pakistan. Sachin has played 3 innings in that, scored 139 runs at an average of 69.50. If you see the data, he scored 250s also, while Dravid has scored 191 runs, but at an average of just 38.20. So runs wise, Dravid has scored more runs than Sachin, because he has played 3 innings more than Sachin Tendulkar. But otherwise, Sachin has fared a lot better than Dravid in that particular series. Okay, the next one is India versus Australia in 2008. If you see the data, Sachin has certainly fared a lot better than Dravid in that particular series. He has also scored 100 and 150 in that series, while Dravid has scored just 150. Sachin's average in that series is 56.57, while Dravid's average is just 17.14. So if you see the data, certainly Sachin has fared better in that particular series. Okay, the next one is India versus England series in 2008. If you see, there is not much difference between the two, but certainly Sachin has average higher than Vanda Dravid. Sachin's average is 52. Also, both have scored 100 each in that series. Most of them could have remembered that when Sachin's 100, which has helped India's mammoth target of chasing 300 in the second test of that particular series, which is after the Mumbai blast, and even you have dedicated that innings to all the Indians in that particular series. So certainly that series belonged to Sachin. Next one is India versus Sri Lanka series in 2009. If you see the data, that Sachin has scored 197 runs in that series with 100 and 150, while Dravid has scored 433 runs with 200s and 150. Sachin's average is 65.67, while Dravid average is 108.20. Both have performed very well in that series, but certainly Dravid has performed a lot better than Sachin in the particular series. Next one is India versus Australia in 2010. If you see the data, that India has both Sachin and Dravid has played 4 innings each in that series. Sachin has scored 403 runs in that series with 100 and 250s, while Dravid scored just 112 runs with just 150. If you see Sachin's average, it is 134.33, while Dravid's average is just 37.33. Sachin has by a long way has outperformed Dravid in this particular series, and certainly he has fared lot better than Dravid in this particular Australian series. Next one is India versus New Zealand in 2010. If you see the data, that both played 4 innings each in that series. Sachin has scored just 126 runs at an average of 31.50 with 150, while Dravid has scored 341 runs at an average of 85.25 with 200s. Certainly Dravid has clearly outperformed Sachin in that particular series, and he has been by a long way he has been a better performer in that particular series. The final one on the list is India versus West Indies in 2011. Of course, this is the last test series that Sachin and Dravid played together at home. If you see the data, both has played 5 innings, while Sachin has scored 218 runs, Dravid has scored 318 runs. Sachin hasn't scored 100 in that series, while he scored 250s. Dravid has scored 100 and 250 in that series. Sachin's average is 43.60, while Dravid's average is 63.80. So certainly Dravid has performed better than Sachin in that particular West Indies series. Okay, that's it. If you see the home series between 2007 to 2011, Sachin has certainly performed better than Dravid even in home series. Sachin has performed better than Dravid in 4 home series, while Dravid has performed better than Sachin in 3 series. But if you take the top teams like Australia and England in that particular period of time, Sachin has certainly played better than Dravid in that particular period of time. Also, we have already seen the away data between 2007 to 2011, and certainly Sachin has played a lot better cricket than Dravid in that particular period of time. So this is also one of the factor why Sachin has decided to continue playing test cricket while Dravid has retired earlier. Of course, when the batsman is in good form, and if you see the data, Sachin certainly had a golden run between 2007 to 2011. So any batsman would want to continue to bat on, and that's what exactly Sachin did as well. So cricket is based on form and consistency, and if you see the form and consistency between the both in 2007 to 2011 period, except the last 3 series, certainly Sachin has a better record and consistency and form than Dravid in that particular period of time. So he has decided to continue playing cricket. So there is nothing wrong with that, and there is no need to blame Sachin Tendulkar for the particular thing, because certainly he has been in a good form, and Dravid has been at his best during the particular period of time. Actually, after analyzing both the home and away records from 2007 to 2011, anyone with cricket knowledge would accept the fact that Sachin has performed better than Dravid in that particular period of time. Also, he has been in very good form, and he's been more consistent than Dravid in that particular period of time. This is the only reason why Sachin decided to play cricket little longer than Rahul Dravid. Otherwise, this has nothing to do with playing for records. Also, there is a bad culture in social media that to praise someone else, you have to degrade the another one. It is a very bad culture, and please don't do that. Also, while debating for cricket, coming with cricketing merits, facts and stats, instead of telling one played for records and one played for team. It is completely wrong. Everyone is playing for the team, and records comes your way only if you are talented and skilled. No records can be created intentionally or selfishly. Only if you are playing for the team you can create records, and everyone has contributed a lot to Indian cricket, and certainly Sachin has contributed a lot more than Dravid or any other players to Indian cricket, and we can even prove that through statistical merits and also cricketing merits. And that's it, friends. It's a long video. Thanks for everyone who listened to this patiently. This video is nothing against Rahul Dravid or any player. This is only against people who are comparing Sachin and Dravid and saying that Sachin has played little longer, and without any cricketing facts they are blaming Sachin, and that's the only reason why I came up with this video, and I have maximum tried to analyze only with the cricketing merits and datas. So you may agree or disagree with these facts. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. So thanks very much for watching this video. If you like this video, please share, like and subscribe our channel. Thank you, friends.